Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Cheap Heat TV Live. I'm your host, the king of all wrestling media, Gene Jackson, and I am joined by my brand new co-host, Charles Sanders, aka Chucky Z. Charles, how you doing tonight?
Doing well. Is the lighting okay on this? Do I need to turn some more lights on?
It could stand some more light, but whoa, there you are. There he is.
I'm sorry.
All right, so
do the intro. You're great.
episode 4. Who'd have thought we'd make it this far, right? And then, boom, tonight's guest, Jeremy Flynt, a.k.a. Jeremiah Flynt, the 4-time Rookie of the Year in Ultimate NWA. We may get to that a little bit later, but let's get right to it. Let's bring him in here. The one, the only.
Gene, it's the Funker.
It's the old Funker himself.
The old Funker.
Jeremiah Flynt, how you doing, sir?
I got to get my smart glasses on. There's my shooter glasses.
Oh.
They're not sensual, are they, Chucky?
Oh my God, dude.
Chucky had to go shove his contacts in because he couldn't take the glare.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I can't handle it.
How do, guys? What's up?
Not much, man. Like I said, before we went on the air, pulling back the curtain for a moment, we talked for a couple of minutes before we went on the air and talked about how you guys were all at Rocket City Championship Wrestling last night while me and Rosie were here watching old episodes of Saturday Night Live on some new app she loaded. So
wait a minute, which episodes?
I like the old Belushi days.
Oh, well, you
and then
can't
we
go wrong
skipped
with
ahead to some Eddie Murphy. Hi,
Yeah,
I'm Bill
the
Jones.
The mid-90s was probably the best for me.
I want to be a hoe. Yeah, you got to skip around. You can't just go straight through. Like they had some really good times and they had some really awful times too. So
right. That was
you can jump around.
Charles was still swimming in that, so he didn't know about Saturday Night Live.
That's what I told him before you came on. I'm like, well, at least I'll have somebody my age that'll get some of the references I make. Because last week he was skipping and his head was freezing up.
Charles.
And I told him it was like Max Headroom, and he had no idea what the hell that's about. We can curse on here, or as Charles spells it, we are allowed. ALLOUD. He may pop in still.
I don't have the comments pulled up, so I'm not going to be reading them the entire time. I'm just going to be looking on my phone during y'all's horrible.
Hey, I'm glad you said comments because let's see. Wicked Nemesis pointed out Peacock. That's exactly right. That is the app that Rosie downloaded that has every 46 seasons of Saturday Night Live and all kinds of other things. And all right, the Funker's back. He bunned out on us there. That's going to be the phrase on the show. If you disappear in the middle of a show, you bunned out.
Bunned out.
So
get the gimmick over, kid. I'm bunning out.
So far we've got Wicked Nemesis with us. So thank you for joining us, Wicked. We appreciate it.
What's up, Wicked? Wicked.
Hey, Wicked.
All right. So how was it last night at Rocket City? Did you win?
No.
Oh.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No.
Y'all's team won.
Well, the team won, but I didn't. Yeah, it was an interesting night. And I know for me personally, and I talked to Charles about this, and believe it or not, that was, probably my last match. Don't shake your head.
Don't shake your retirement.
Yeah,
don't shake your head at the Funker.
Nobody retires in a Survivor Series match. You gotta
and you lost.
And you lost. Or you don't even know if you won or not. You're not entirely sure what the result was.
Look, Jeff Gaylord did, so why can't I?
Look that up, Charles. He has no idea who Jeff Gaylord is. He's like,
no, but seriously,
you can Google it later.
Yeah, I'm gonna
just Google it, man. But
so you're gonna drop that on us at the top of the show. We just starting the show. Now you're like, you dropped that. Like, last night was my last match, man. I'm done with this shit. So you better ask me some stuff because I'm out.
I'm getting age now that I just blow the big one first and then have to work back down to it.
That's why you.
Oh, check this out. It actually worked. I tagged Cabana Man Dan today saying I hope he dropped in and asked me a question. Here he is.
See, Bounty Man Dan, what's up? Hope everything's doing well. Dude, I'm proud of you. Proud of you. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, he looks great.
Oh my God. He's
cow.
killing it. Absolutely killing it. So
yep. So many days since the hair buffing incident at FTW many years ago in Elkmont.
Bubba Cagle checking in with a comment. Charles Xander sucks. So
oh, you got fans. Okay.
I hope they do another recount in his election and he loses.
I hear the other guy hasn't given up yet.
No, Brandon, you've heard it 8 times, not 10 times. Get it right.
There you go.
That's right.
All right, so we're off to a good start. We're already we've already got cameos from Wicked Nemesis, Commander Man Dan, Bubba Cagle, Brandon Morton, and then Bubba chimes in with CMD needs a contract. That's absolutely true.
You're exactly right. He needs a contract with AEW, WWE, anywhere, man, because in any major company, he would be a tremendous asset for that.
Absolutely. He just commented, speaking of FTW, saw photos of a death match with Insane Lane, Freak Show, and others. Even Phil Wilson.
Spider Boudreaux thing in Ardmore.
I wasn't able to go. So I guess since people are making announcements here, I haven't actually said this publicly other than to the people who I canceled bookings for. But so I've got fluid in my lungs that's gotten worse over the last 2 or 3 months. And so doctors telling me that I don't really need to be out in the cold anymore than I have to because it could quickly turn into pneumonia. And with pneumonia and my other health ailments, it could quickly, if I was to get COVID, it'd probably kill me. So I had to cancel.
Well,
I had to cancel.
That going for you.
Yeah, I mean, so I had to cancel off the Spider Memorial. I had to cancel OWO booking next week, so I'm probably gonna have to forfeit my heavyweight title that I've held for over 100 and something days. And I had to cancel a couple other bookings, and which Sanders thinks is fucking hilarious. Apparently, sorry I cut Sanders.
Oh, you potty mouth!
What's going on here?
I mean,
so you better come up with some. You better come up with some big news, Sanders, because I mean, I had to figure out a way to trump Flynt's announcement that he's retiring, but I might be dying.
And there's Tramer chiming in.
Nick Tramer, brother, went and got COVID to escape having his last match with me in the cage. It's all about the money in the mile. I miss you, Tramer. I ain't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Bandman Dan says he's got a contract to UPS. I start Tuesday. Breaking news. Congratulations.
All right. Down with the brown.
That's a whole different podcast there, Flynt.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
J-Mo. Hey, you guys. Love y'all. Love y'all all. Hope the best for y'all. Well, thank you, buddy. Good to hear from you. Ain't seen you in a while.
I know. I ain't seen him in a while either. Hope all is well with him as well. There's a lot of wells in there. It's a deep subject.
Bubba Cagle says, better than no contract. Jason Coleman, that being the one with UPS. And then Jason Coleman says, the lung fluid gives you that signature Gene Jackson voice, though. Well, that's a way to put a positive spin on it.
I know. You, sir. Just think how much added weight you could have for a big splash now.
Yeah, it'll literally be a splash. It just right out.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So whose bedroom are you in, Xanders?
Mine.
Okay. Yeah. I like your bedpost there. I think I've seen it in the movie once.
Do I have to turn my camera for real? Is this going to be what this is? Because I'm pretty sure you had. Never mind.
Scott Morgan. Flynt retires, Gene is dying, and Charles is thinking of wrestling again. About the same. Well, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Scott makes me not think about wrestling all the time.
Well, I mean, I tell you what. I mean, Scott, I don't know how he could catch his breath from how tight those pants were he had last night.
Yeah, that's what I heard. The biggest thing I missed at Rocket City was his painted on pants last night.
I mean, they were so tight you could see that his balls up in his stomach. So, I mean, good God,
so fat.
Wicked says Flynt is the funniest guy in the biz. I can't disagree with that. He's I don't think so. He's quite a humorous guy. Well, Xanders doesn't think so. But he thinks Scott is. So
Scott has got a dry sense of humor, which I think is why he wore those pants last night. So Like I said, all he was missing was the wool roll-down socks for the rest of his Beyonce collection and his Timberlands that he had on. So yeah. Just kidding, Scott. I still love you, brother.
No,
Bubba Holt, great. Good to hear from you, man. Hope all is well with you as well, man. Jason Coleman, what has happened the most, though? They're all the Terry Funberger category.
Oh, Pop. He got me.
That's it. Flynt's coming back. Come out of man, Dan. Yeah. He's calling you out, brother. One more match. One more match. That's all he's trying to get y'all to do. He wants y'all to do that one more match gimmick for him. So
we should go every month just to say one more match.
So J-Mo is announcing that he is back in Boaz. He's the ACW Southern Heavyweight Champion, and he's also been doing Bad Boy Pro Wrestling in Huntsville, Alabama. So there's your update on J-Mo.
I mean, that's really about it right now.
That's it. I bet, let's see, Jason Combs, I bet Flynt is in New South Rumble in a couple of weeks.
I'll be under a mask.
I'll take money on that.
K5.
I will definitely put some money on that. Yeah, they need to bring back me, you, and Tramer. It'll be like the first match of the first show again.
No, we probably can't have that.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
it's a nice thought, Cabana Man Dan, but it seems unlikely at this point. So.
Yeah, right now, probably unlikely. I still love you though, CMD.
So before we get too many more comments rolling in, I did want to ask you something. Because me and Lane talked about this last 2 weeks ago on his interview. At the very beginning of the interview, talked about the fact that we just lost Tracy Smothers, and he had a couple of funny stories. And I know you've been around him quite a bit, Flynt. I was wondering, do you have any funny Tracy Smothers stories you wanted to share?
Let's see. Lane probably told you the one where, excuse me, we were down at FTW, and he, during the middle of his match, or actually beginning of his match, his music was playing and he had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that was.
And so I think it was against Charlie Swinger. So he had to go to the bathroom really bad. So he went to the bathroom and come back and got on the microphone and says, I hate to tell y'all this, but I just took an Elkmont in the bathroom. So now I'm ready for my match. So let's see. There was that one. There was always the first time I met Tracy was in Shelbyville in Tennessee, where it was behind stage, didn't know me from anybody. He's like, hey, brother, what are you doing? Hey, hold my arm for a second. I'm like, okay. As I grabbed his arm and he started working the moves and stuff. I'm like, what's going on? All right, hold this right here. And he started stretching with it. All right, thanks. And then left. So it's like, okay, what the heck? So a few years later at FTW, I got to see him again, and basically the same thing. He's doing his squats, getting ready for his match. Hey, hold my arm back here, and stretched again. I said, dang, Tracy, it's nice to meet you. Yeah, you're that guy from Shelbyville. I said, yeah, I held your arm. Yeah, good stretch, brother. And then went to the ring. So
good stretch.
And then I got to wrestle. We wrestled 45 minutes one night. Yeah, and it was he got me with the back fist right there.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it sucked. But it bloodied it and got through the match. And from then on, just every time I saw Trace, hey, Flynt, man, what are you doing? And he started all the time. And the last time I saw him, I got to work him down at Rocket City, and he had his cane and everything with him. And I knew he wasn't in good shape. I didn't know what was wrong with him until, the news broke. They had the lymphoma.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I said, Tracy, I know y'all going over. I really want you to pin me. No, man, that'd kill you, brother. Or how about if all four of us pin you? I'm like, fine with me. So came down to it, and we was working in there, and he's like, he gave me the chop and everything. He's all right, turn me around, chop me. I said, I got you. And I don't like chops. So I brothered him up and just I didn't get him hard, and people were booing. I said, cut me off. So he gouged my eyes, and then later on we did the pin, and all four of them laid on top of me, pinned me, and Tracy was on top of me. And I go, "Thank you, Tracy." So So we get to the back, and Raven was sitting there going, "Whose pen was that?" I was like, "That's what Tracy called." Oh, huh. And then he walked away.
I would have done that.
Yeah, I would have done that. What is that? An Al Snow tattoo on your arm? Yeah, I'm a fan of Al Snow. Huh? I was like, yeah, there's tabs on this one. Huh? He's a good guy.
Wow, look at Cabana Man Dan throwing shade. That was the first match in New South survived 5 years.
I know. We'll get the crap out of the way first, and then we'll just go get better.
So many responses, none that I can say. Oh, anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to talk about anybody, but anyway.
All right. So another question. This question is from
the old bunker.
Rose Jackson, currently in Gadsden, Alabama. She wanted me to ask about the fact that one of the first times we met you, you were sporting a T-shirt that said Jeremy Flynt Baby Eater. Do you care to tell the story behind the Jeremy Flynt Baby Eater?
Many years ago, we had, I think Will Owens did a show down here in Fayetteville. And there was a picture that I had of me that had a little baby, and I was looking at it like I was going to eat his head, going like that. So, a couple of friends of mine actually work at a graphics shop, a T-shirt shop, and they had it printed up, and they took that design and put it on a T-shirt. They used a vinyl press and everything. And so there was only one of those shirts, and that's what it was. So, yeah, I mean, I wore it one time. I wore it when I did a hamburger eating contest. And there's two fly tie. Thank you, brother. So, but yeah, I wore it as the last time I wore it. And honestly, I don't even know where it is at this time.
Oh,
but hey, there's one shirt, and it's mine.
Nice. I feel like I owe a quick explanation. This Cabana Man Dan says Rose in Gadsden. Yeah, she currently is working in Gadsden, and she stays down there 3 days a week and takes care of her dad, who's 86 years old and is kind of needing some help these days. And so she stays down there Sunday through Wednesday, or Thursday, I should say, and then she comes back here, and we're here together Thursday through she leaves back out Sunday morning. So it's kind of weird, but doing what we got to do. So it's all good. And yes, two fly tie. Jeremy Flynt is the GOAT. I'm assuming that's in reference to his beard, but I don't know. He didn't put periods in between, so it's not an acronym. It's just a statement.
That joke was bad.
Oh, that's why Wiki Nemesis says you're the funniest man in the business right there. Proving it right.
So,
all right.
I
so
hope you don't get COVID, Gene. It sucks.
I hope I don't either, because as the doctor said, it would probably kill me. And
Jesus didn't get it.
It killed my uncle legit last week. I had an uncle die from it. So
wow. Okay, Gene. I was joking. I was joking, and now you just bring it all down. Okay.
I'm just saying. All right. Nick Tramer says, going to be disappointed if you don't bring up the time we had to fill 40 plus minutes for a Will Owens show because half the card wasn't there yet in Brilliant, Alabama, which is the real place.
Yes, it's false advertisement too.
Anything but.
We did a show for Will at a school because that's what Will does. And
what year would this have been?
Oh God, I don't even remember what year it was, but I remember the match because there was only 4 of us there, and the rest of the card hadn't shown up. And so Will was like, what? You know how Will panics. Just do something. Okay. And so we just went out there and fiddle farted around for literally 40 minutes. It's on YouTube. Because I think.
All 40 minutes is
Yeah,
all great.
All 40 minutes, intros and all. Because I think Cody Coons did that. He taped it, and like he also taped the spinning falling meteor that I did at New South that time on all 12 guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, mine and
Cody
Mom's
Coons is wrestling now on occasion. Apparently,
I
putting
heard
people
about
in
that.
sharpshooters and such.
Well, it's that beard, man. You know, anybody with a beard, they either chop hard or do sharpshooters.
Well, he goes the way of the sharpshooter. So J-Mo says he loved watching you and Mob's match at New Level Pro. Great match with two big fellas.
It was a fun match. My very first match there. And it was my very first match that I ever had in a ring with actual rope as the ropes. Usually it's been steel cables. And so the ropes were actual ropes. And I'm like, oh my God, this feels so weird.
Yeah. Like who does that? Who has ropes for ropes?
But I mean, I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed, the actual show itself, because Junior, he ran a good tight ship there. And I really wished I could have gone more. But, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, me and you started a thing that night, and then I was never able to go back again due to work-related things. I was hanging out with that guy there in Huntsville. So,
seems like we kill a lot of companies, Gene.
Well, not all of them. Some of them managed to live on without us.
I know.
Speaking of, Cabana Man Dan says, COVID does suck. However, getting it was the most newsworthy wrestling thing of my career, sadly. LOL. I don't know if that's true. But
I don't think
no, dude, you got in a ring with Steiner and Swoggle. So,
that was, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Wicked Nemesis wants to know, what is your worst match? What has your worst match ever been? Keeping in mind, you and I have never actually wrestled each other. We tagged, but we didn't.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I think there was a time where it was a show up in Nashville, and this guy supposedly was like really supposedly good and all this. Well, he ended up throwing a drop kick and hit me in the shin. And so I went down. Of course, when he kicked me in the shin, blood started gushing out. And I'm like, how you going to, get color on a drop kick to the shin?
Hard weighed your shin.
I hard weighed my shin, yeah. And so I get up, and he kicked me right in the mouth. And so I just literally ended up beating the crap out of this guy and just laid into him in the locker room. And honestly, I don't even know if this kid's still wrestling anymore. Because I don't even know what happened.
I thought I knew exactly what it was. I thought I was there for that.
What? No, he got
I thought you lost it on somebody. Am I frozen? I hate with this.
Wait, lost it on,
you're
who?
Well, I'm not going to say a name, but you definitely got upset with someone and apparently shot on them. And I mean, do you not know who I'm talking about? It was within the past.
There was a certain referee that was messing up, and I corrected them, and it wasn't being heard. And so I made my point to this person that they're not making the same mistake anymore.
That was what we referenced that last week during the downtime for the bun, right? Is that the same referee we're talking about?
The bun looks like Jeff Jameson with a good hand.
Oh, so when you text me and said the bun's a good hand, I misunderstood that. I thought you were saying he could work, but no, you just meant he had a good hand.
No, he's
can't make gear worth shit, but
Bun's a good dude. I mean, I only met him for a couple times, and he's a good kid. He's a good kid. So
it's okay. He's not listening. Fucking shit all over him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's got bad. He's out of minutes. But I know Scott said something about. Yeah, Scott got heat with a female worker for stealing a move of hers when I showed him about a spot that we can do in the match. And I didn't know who she was, and I really didn't care. Wow. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate that.
Never know who's watching.
Yeah. Well, okay. Do you want to hear that story?
Well, we have to now, right? I mean, based on your reaction, it seems like it'd be a good one.
We can hear both. You can finish.
You want to hear that story about?
I was about to say it's stop you on your tracks. So let's hear it.
What it was doing a show in Tharptown for Will Owens, and after the show, Will takes another 2 hours to collect money to pay everybody. So I'm out there shooting basketball, and his kid comes up and goes, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm like, the kid's bigger than me. I said, "I'm just shooting around, man." And so I'm sitting there shooting. He grabs the ball and took it out and says, "Come on." I said, "I ain't gonna do nothing." So, he went around. I let him shoot and all this. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I get the ball, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna drive around him and just score. Well, I went to drive around him. He pushed me, and I land awkward, on my knee. So I'm like, watch out with that, dude. Just chill out with that and all that. So we kept playing, and I was giving him tips about playing basketball because I love basketball. So he did this 3 more times, and on the 3rd time, I'm like, all right, that's it. So he grabbed rebound and was like, "Come get you some." I said, "Well, come on in." So he came on in. Meanwhile, he said, "Not bad for an 18-year-old, is it?" I said, No, you're a good shot, whatever. This is before all this happened. So he come driving in and stuck his shoulder down. Well, I've been playing basketball long enough to know what he was doing. So when he stuck his shoulder down, I just planted my feet and stuck my chest out, and he bounced off of me and fell on the ground. Well, apparently his Uncle Daddy over next to the ring was like, "Hey, boy, don't be knocking him down. What are you doing?" And he's only 13. I said, he told me he was 18. I said, he told me he was 18. And the kid said, "No, you're just stupid." I said, "Whoa." And then I said, "Okay, somebody's going to die." So Will come running, "Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm going to murder somebody." So he took me to the back, and I went out to the back, and, I was calming down. I told Will what happened. And I said, "That's what happened." I said, "These guys can vouch for that." Okay. Well, come to find out, the kid was brought to the back. I said, "Look, it's all good." You shook his hand and everything. He said, "All right, that's no problem." Well, about a week and a half later, Will gets a phone call from this kid's mom. Said that they were going to sue Will Owens for me hurting this kid. I'm like, "For what?" I said, "The dude hit and came back up." They said, "You gave the kid a concussion." I said, "No." I said, "The kid actually said he had football practice that day." "Oh my God, I'm gonna lose this, and I'm blah blah blah." It's like, "Well, you got 8 more jobs to do." So
that'd have been a perfect time to go, "Will, you're undefeated."
Exactly. Will, calm down. You're undefeated at everything, okay? So you're undefeated at life, Will. So yeah, they was sending all these letters to Will, and he was freaking out and all this. And he said, they wanted to know your real name. I said, "Will, tell them my real name. Here's my address. Tell them send it to me." That's the last I heard of it.
"My name is Ronald Jenkins of Alabama, son. Send it."
I got P.O. Box, man. P.O. Box 69.
Wow.
And that's another thing.
So you got Rob Feinstein on that one. You said 18 and he wasn't.
I know. I mean, dude, he was bigger than me. That's the thing. You couldn't tell it. The kid had a beard, so I guess he was 18. And unless they grow him different down in Tharptown.
I'm sure they do a lot of stuff different down in Tharptown.
I know. I mean, good God. I mean, last last time I heard something good about Tharptown, a tornado was going through it, and it did thousands of dollars worth of improvements.
Hey-o!
Oh!
You're killing Wicked Nemesis's proclamation of you being the funniest guy, man. Tonight Show jokes from 1986.
In a long time. He would come up to Nashville and do commentary for us. And I mean, we got along great because we had a love for Wu-Tang Clan. So yeah.
So here's a serious question from my friend Tommy Todd. Has COVID-19 affected professional wrestling on the local level and bringing in the bigger name wrestlers? So what's your opinion on that? Either one of you or both?
You want to go, Charles?
You go ahead and hit that first.
Okay. It honestly with COVID and everything.
He says that a lot.
Yeah, you're right. You go first. I'll catch up. So, so yeah, I mean, COVID has done a lot in every wrestling company. Honestly, a lot of guys don't want to travel, and there's some states I'm thinking still have a travel ban for certain different states. So
yeah,
getting certain guys from different states, it does hurt, but that gives an opportunity for local guys to get a bigger push to create something for themselves. And, a lot of guys have done that. And, kudos to those guys for getting their name out when other bigger names won't be able to come in because of this pandemic going through.
Well, I mean, I know like New South had like half their card have to cancel out at the last minute recently because of the collective. Half the guys there had been exposed. So, and that gave some guys who had primarily been in like tag teams like Shawn and Christopher and stuff, to step into bigger matches. And, if you're able to take advantage of it, it works in some people's favor and it works against other people. It screwed up your whole retirement tour this year.
You're exactly right.
Apparently, you saw it through after all, but
yeah. Well, on August the 15th, it was supposed to be my last match, and my last match was actually supposed to be on August 15th at Rocket City, and I actually had the COVID, and I couldn't go down there and perform and do the show, and I felt really bad because it was supposed to be with Tramer and everything, and I've been up and down the roads with this brother, and I just felt bad, and I didn't want to go out like that, So, anyway.
In the words of Mark Briscoe, Terry Funk wouldn't have canceled over no COVID. He would have showed up.
And then was it Mark or Jay? Mark had been like, "We get right here, a machete."
That Christmas video is the funniest thing ever. That's my favorite video on YouTube.
Yeah. What's Tramer saying? Hardest chop you ever gave to a vato?
And is it Phil Macchio?
Phil Macchio, you were actually at this show, Gene, when one of the first times you saw me at Carnage Cup. And our match was right after the stabbing of Spider.
Yes. They had a stabbing of Spider, and then Jeremy Flynt comes out to wheel in the sky.
Yeah, I had to follow that. And so it was supposed to be like a 5-way match, and the other 3 guys didn't show up, and it was me and Phil. And so I looked at Phil, I said, "Phil, I'm sorry, but since it's for DVD, we got to lay stuff in." And Phil was like, yeah, it's cool. No big deal. And I still had the
that's
picture.
Okay.
Yeah. That's beforehand, okay? So I chopped him 8 times, and his chest, it literally looked like hamburger meat. But
here's what I love about that, though. All right, that Carnage Cup, at the point that you guys come out, they had seen, and this sounds exaggerated, but I'm not. They had literally seen like hundreds of light tubes shatter. They had seen Spider get stabbed with a box cutter and then take a sidewalk slam off the top of a Pepsi machine through a table that literally had hypodermic needles sticking up out of it.
his head was
his head bounced off the ground like a basketball. Yes. I was like 4 feet from where he landed. I've never heard a sound like that. It was disturbing.
I was like, and we had to follow him. And I went up to Spider
and they had
afterwards.
seen all that,
goes,
but people,
yeah, I'm fine. And the blood come out of his arm looked like Hershey's syrup.
Yes,
that's how thick this blood was.
But after seeing all that gratuitous violence, people still made some of the most guttural reactions of the night to those chops, which I thought was quite a statement.
I had to. And the thing with Tramer saying the hardest chop you give to a Vato, there's a I don't really want to go into that. That's a guy.
Moving on.
He was like, you want to chop? And he would chop somebody, and it'd sound like one of those little popping, little snap and pop gimmicks. Pop.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, tell a Terry Teague story. Oh, let's see. The one that he had a bounty hunter come and get him before a show. Yeah, okay. I was driving up to Main Event one time, and right before I got there, Terry Teague, he was the I guess the whipping boy of NWA Main Event, because he kept trying to put stuff in there, but Bill Behrens kept shooting him down and having him going against all these monster guys and everything. So this particular week, he was supposed to be going against a guy named Seven and another guy named Xavier Mustafa, whose combined weight was probably 650 pounds.
The gigantic Seven guy that Dan Wilson used to manage?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Him.
All right. Wow.
And they were supposed to double team him because that's what Bill wanted. So before I got there, I was in traffic. I was a mile from the show. Apparently, I get a phone call from Christian Haim, and he goes, "Hey, you won't believe what happened." And I'm like, "What happened?" And he told me that a bounty hunter came in and arrested Terry Teague in his wrestling gimmicks and escorted him out of the building in front of everybody that's there. Terry was, a babyface there, and everybody loved him. And so they were hauling him out. And I got to think, and I'm like, why was it just one bounty hunter? And the first thing they went up to Wicked and said, "Are you Terry Teague?"
Oh, Jesus.
So, yeah. He goes, "No, I'm not Terry Teague." And so it's like, "Well, where's Terry Teague?" And he pointed him out, directly told him which dressing room he was in, and the guy proceeded to go in there and get him. So that was funny stuff. And then I think I had
this shit was all for nothing if we didn't get a Christian Haim impression in here somewhere along the way. So kudos.
Oh, you're right, Jane. I got a marathon to do.
What's your favorite triathlon you've ever done?
I love the one in Hawaii. The humidity is pretty tight up there, though. So
what's your Crystal Hamburger record looking like right now?
Teague story. And there was one time I wrestled him in a match. I think I don't know if it was a tag match or single match, but I remember chopping him. I told him I was going to chop him. And when I did, he collapsed in the corner going, and if he sees this, hey, I don't care. He can kiss my ass. I don't care. I mean, he's probably going to send me a video or something saying he's going to whoop my ass. I don't care. But I mean, I'm retired. What am I going to do?
Yeah, you can't wrestle him.
Yeah. I have to renew my license. Yeah, don't want the commission coming after me.
Yeah, fucking commission.
Yeah, heaven forbid I slide them $30 up underneath a door and be like, "Hey, you got a license now."
So, Xanders, have you got a question for Mr. Flynt? I mean, I've got a list of questions. Okay, I just want to know if you want to ask him anything.
No, you've been doing this a really long time. But who was the person probably the favorite person you were married?
He's actually frozen on my side right now.
Piece of garbage. Give it just a
There
second.
we go.
Yeah, is that better?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. So what was the person you were enjoyed, like, who did you enjoy being married to the longest? Like, what was the most fun you ever had with an angle?
With who?
Like an angle. Who was your favorite person to be married to?
I thought you meant who was his favorite wife, and I was like, well, that's kind of
yeah. So I'm 0 for 2 now. Okay. No, I got a good lady now, and I love her to death, man. It's hey, so
say my name.
No, I got a good one now, man, and I love her to death. But as far as an angle, I really enjoyed an angle with Corey Hollis years ago where we were fighting over Rookie of the Year. It really brought out him and myself in Scottsboro. And as far as like here recently, I mean, I just like going out there and working. If there's an angle, cool. I had a good one with Tramer and everywhere that we went.
Yeah.
And it's always just fun, working with him. Yeah, I mean, hey, Smokey. Bye, Smokey.
He has to get in at least once.
The whole angle with me and Tramer, I mean, is over every time. Yeah. Oh, I did.
Perfect.
Oh.
Okay, so far, Steve Pleasing is winning the night with Xander's is my mom's favorite landscaper. Well played. Well played.
His joke's
funny. Yeah, I'm waiting for Steve to call in.
He's not calling in. He's not calling in. I won't let him.
Nick Tramer wants to know, how long did it take before you could actually get a good night's sleep after tearing Buff Bagwell's biceps to shreds after an Irish whip?
I actually slept well that night. Yeah, I mean, he went to do an Irish whip and his greasy arm slipped and he tried to grab me again and it ripped his bicep. And then he was, oh, my arm. I said, okay, so do the blockbuster. And so we did that, and yeah, 1, 2, 3, baby. That's my yoga pose. Lasts for 3 seconds.
Jeremy Flynt's a shooter. He ripped my arm off.
Yeah, you see what happened to him then. He become.
Oh, you sent him down a downward spiral that he's never recovered from. It's all on you, man. It's your claim to fame. So as you have now retired, you're almost 24 hours into retirement. As you look back upon your career,
I'm booked in 2 weeks.
Well, you don't announce that till the end, man. Damn it, that's how you end the podcast. I actually was gonna like start like a fundraiser, like all right, if y'all want to see Jeremy Flynt come back, send money to my PayPal. And you do like the preachers do, like if we get $2,500, Jeremy Flynt will return to Rocket City in
Bert
2 weeks.
Prentice, man. Bert Prentice show. If y'all don't sell $100 worth of raffle tickets, we're not starting a show.
Oh my God! So looking back over your career,
shoot, I've seen that happen.
Oh God, yeah, every time. What to you, like? What's the most surreal moment where like you were in the ring and you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm doing this right now? Like, what's the coolest moment you've had in the ring?
Years ago, up in McMinnville, they used to have a Fusion Tradition Wrestling, another FTW, and they had a tournament called the Fighting Spirit Tournament, and it would be almost like that's when the strong style stuff started coming here in Middle Tennessee, and it had a list of guys that came in that they brought in just for this tournament, and I got selected to be in it, and and I was also, I ended up winning it, and to end up going out there in front of all these people, I wrestled 3 times the last night for a total of about an hour and 15 minutes. And the last match went for about 30 minutes or so of just nothing but wrestling, and ended up pinning the guy and just sitting there basking in the moment for this, of having this is the first time I had all the wrestlers that came out from the back around the ring. The crowd was on their feet the entire match. I mean, it was just a surreal moment winning that and then having everybody just go crazy. And then, also that's up there with, doing my first TV for up over in Arkansas. You walk out in front of thousands of people and you're sitting there going, oh my God, this is it. And, just walking out in front of that, it was a dream come true. I mean, it was a butterflies that you can't imagine.
I mean, that was a pretty cool deal. That ain't something that we've got a chance to talk about a lot on these various podcasts we've done over the years. You teamed with Jeremiah Plunkett over there, and you guys, I know, tagged with like Bushwhacker Luke.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was probably it had to be a pretty cool thing, But yeah, that was like a big deal there for a while. It kind of just disappeared, after at some point.
Yes, he froze up on me, Charles.
He stays froze up.
Yeah, I can't.
It's unfortunate.
I'm trying.
That's why I have to ask most of the questions. He sits there
trying.
Frozen through most of it.
Yeah,
I'm trying my best. I'm really.
Steve Pleasing is going to light a candle in memory of Jeremy Flynt's career tonight.
That's probably not the only thing he's going to light up.
Hey now, all right. So,
hey
and Scott Morgan says R.I.P. Juggernauts. So, like I said, we had Insane Lane on a couple weeks ago. Next week, we're going to have Brad Cash on. And you actually did a death match, a full-on death match. And so tell me about that experience, and is it, something that might bring you out of retirement to do again?
No.
Yeah.
Take your time. Think about it. Don't be hasty.
No. What it was a show for Kevin. It was a IWA Deep South show. During the 5-way, which I think you covered at one time, after the 5-way, I got into it with Freak Show and we're fighting and everything. Well, John Rare went to Sabu off of a chair. He was supposed to, glide over the top rope. We'll catch him, yada, yada, yada. Well, he did that. His foot got hung up and his leg hit the apron corner of the ring and it broke his femur bone.
Ugh.
And in that case, his head, when he broke it, his head splatted against the concrete and he had a gash across his eye. And so Kevin was going all crazy, wondering, oh my God, the show's ruined, blah, blah, blah. I ain't got nobody to face Freak Show in this death match. And I said, well, I'll do it. And he just stopped in the track and went. You could almost see the camera zoom in on his face going, what? And so,
yeah, man.
Well, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's save the show. And I ended up doing it, and it was a good match, but oh my God, it sucked. I mean, I have respect for those guys doing that, but that's not my thing.
No.
We ended up getting through it. Show took care of me, and I appreciate to this day that he did that. It was a fun match, and the show was really good, and that was it. But
I think we're gonna bring Twin States Wrestling back to have the Jeremy Flynt versus Charles Anders death match that everybody's been wanting to see, with a run in from New Jack if we can.
So let me
raise enough money.
You'll see a run out by me, is what you'll see.
And
ask
you'll get thousands if New Jack runs in on me. Just
when you talk to Brad Cash, ask him about trying to snort somebody's loogie at a wrestling show one time.
All right, make note of that, Sanders.
No,
I'm going to try to forget that.
It's going to be awful. Hey, Flynt, what's the worst thing? Like, okay, so you've done death matches. What's the worst thing you've ever taken?
The worst thing ever taken, it was a drop kick to the shin. No. As far as move wise, Christian Hames 450s suck. Okay. Because his knees hit you on the arms, hit you in the chest. Yeah, they suck.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, you killed me.
No.
And I also hate taking anybody that does a spear. I hate spears.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, Orion has a great spear, and I love him to death. But he gave me a spear one time. It literally drove me into the mat, and it sucked.
Well, especially when they don't call them, you just turn around and you're being speared.
Right.
That's the last one I took, and yeah.
Fast.
Anyway.
Jay Blade, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Jay Blade?
So we've got 3 fun questions here. What did we say we were going to call this, Charles?
We're going to call this the falsy, but we're going to
have
falsy. We're going to have to come
the falsy.
Back in my day, it's called a false finish, but all these punk kids call it falsy.
Look, I'm trying
now.
to
these damn kids, and I bet they slap their leg when they say falsy too.
Well, hell yeah, they do. All right, so go ahead, finish that thought.
Falsy.
Perfect. Great.
All right.
So what's that?
I'm pretty sure the bun slapped his leg every time he went on and off camera last week. So that was his leg was probably bruised Monday morning. All right, so this is one of those would you rather questions.
There'll be a lot of kids with callous thighs here in this wrestling business.
That's going to be the worst injuries any of them's going to have is their big callous thighs when they get older. All right, so you're familiar with how like the radio stations have the would you rather questions, right?
Yes.
All right, so would you rather wrestle barefoot every match like Kevin Von Erich, or would you rather wear boots every match but be missing a foot like Kerry Von Erich?
Barefoot.
Yeah.
Barefoot.
All right. Good call.
I have a hard enough time walking and with 2 feet. So if I had 1 foot, that would even suck even worse.
Favorite dick in wrestling, Big Dick Dudley or Dick Justice?
Dick Justice, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
He's my boy.
Dick Justice is a super cool guy. When he came to IWA Deep South, we had a lot of fun with Dick Justice.
And, yeah, we had that match, and nobody knew what we were doing from the crowd. They just sat there on their hands the entire time.
What was that place called? It was... I mean, it was way out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, them folks had no clue what the hell y'all were doing. Like, y'all did that slow motion spot, and they're like, what the fuck are these guys?
They had no clue and no electricity.
And not many teeth.
No.
All right. So here's the third question of the falsy. In the early 80s, Jerry Lawler had a famous feud with comedian Andy Kaufman. If you could have a feud with any present-day comedian, who would it be and why?
Let's see. I think everybody would go with like, I'm do like Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle, but I want to like either John Caponera or Nick Bargatze. Just because, John, he's funny. And I think I'd have a match because we're about the same size.
Yeah.
I sure as heck don't want John Reap because all he's going to be like, hey, is that a Hemi? Or whatever he says.
I'm from Hickory. Let's go to Hickory.
But yeah, and plus, I'd probably get more personality out of Nick Bargatze when promos. So it'd be fun to work with him.
Xander, same question for you. Who would you pick? Comedians.
I'm excited because I actually had to think about this. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's going to make the most amount of money. That's going to make the absolute most amount of money. It's going to get the most eyes. Like
he would make the most money.
I love comedians like that. Oh, he would make the most money. But that's all I need is just an opportunity. Come on.
I would go with Tom Segura because he's one of my favorite comedians, and he's got heat with wrestling fans and wrestlers because all the shit he said about wrestling a few months ago. So.
Oh yeah.
Jay Blade said Chris Tucker.
Okay.
Okay, what year is this?
He's still alive. He made a comeback a couple of years ago.
Did he?
Yeah, his best comebacks are at NBA All-Star weekends when he can afford a second row seat at the Celebrity All-Star game.
Well, just imagine you giving him that the bus move. What did you call that?
The bus driver.
The bus driver. That's it.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Man, why are you trying to do that, man? You're gonna mess up my hair." Or however he talks.
I said no. Do you not understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Coming out of my mouth. Jeez, man.
So, okay, we got to ask this I know there's a lot of Ronnie Jenkins fans listening out there, and I know you've told this on other podcasts in the past, but never in video form where we can actually see your face. Tell us about how Rape Face Ronnie Jenkins came to be.
In all honesty, it came from, there was a picture that I did. It was from a Carnage Cup up in Tullahoma years ago. And Tramer, it was like his first or third match or something. He was in there, and there was a picture of me standing behind him. You know, I was looking at him, and somebody was making comments, and I'm like, it's probably, he's got his Rape Face on, blah, blah, blah. And then I started just said, yeah, it's Rape Face. And the first name that popped in my head literally was Ronnie Jenkins. I don't know why that name popped in my head. It just came in there. So we started talking about the softcore gimmick, softcore cup, or doing softcore stuff and all this. But it came to fruition with Kevin and all these text messages between Kevin, Gene, and myself and whoever else. And it just came to fruition, and it ended up doing a thing with me and Gene where we did the To Catch a Predator type interview session.
Because somewhere in there, Ronnie Jenkins becomes a lover of younger women. We'll just say that. We won't use the P word, but
no.
But that kind of is necessary to mention for the people who don't know, so they understand where this Catch a Predator concept came from.
Right. And we went there to a guy's house and filmed all day this whole documentary about it. And it turned out to be basically a comedy thing, to me at least.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't really expecting anything from it, but then it came to do this Carnage Cup where they introduced the softcore Battle Royal. And when it came time for me to come out, Gene can attest for this, the people just went crazy. Like pop. Like, oh my God. Yeah. And so the wheel started turning for Kevin, and he wanted me to do the softcore cup deal. Finally, to get me in the finals against Joey Ryan to see who could be the dirtiest. So I out-dirtied Joey Ryan.
You're still here.
Yeah. Jesus. Praise Jesus. So no, that gimmick's stolen too. Oh God. But anyway, I ended up doing that. Well, unbeknownst to me, there was a guy, his real name was Ronnie Jenkins, that lived over in Giles County. And I heard this later on, had been getting associated with this name, and he didn't know where it was coming from. Well, at the time, there was this guy who really hated me, and he probably still does, and I don't care. Started calling all these people, and I've had these screenshots where he sent the link to that Gene did an interview with me. He sent the link to like Channel 4 News, all these news outlets. Yeah. All because, he didn't like me. He was trying to basically take everything from me. So he called my ex to try to get my rights to my daughter taken away. He sent videos and stuff to my place of employment through their Facebook page. And so, I just said, I just killed it. There's no sense in doing that. Wrestling is supposed to be fun and all this. But if you got people taking it seriously that think they know this business and they don't know anything about it, then they don't need to be in it. And I just want to separate myself from all the drama. So that's what happened to it.
It's pretty crazy because, usually you feel like you're pretty insulated.
I know it's a boring story.
Like,
because I'm not a funny guy.
Jeremy / Ronnie / whoever's over here and real life's over here. But that's crazy how that all came together. Yeah.
And I'm probably one of the very few wrestlers that's actually been protested against and demonstrated against. So, yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, admit that's kind of awesome. You know,
like okay, so like Twitter, did Twitter protest against you?
Oh, Twitter. There was that petition website. People would petition that. They would, like, I would get messages, people attacking me and stuff. But I deleted them. Didn't care. Who cares?
Yeah.
And they were like, "I can't believe you're doing this gimmick." I said, "Well, sue Sylvester Stallone for killing all those people in Rambo. I don't care."
And Kevin was excited and thought we were like going to get on freaking like Maury or some shit,
Yeah, Kevin actually, the year WrestleMania was down in Dallas, Kevin wanted me to. He was trying to get me on as Ronnie Jenkins down around Dallas at all these different shows. And I'm like, at first I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I'll be at the WrestleMania. But then I got to think about it. I'm like, it's honestly, it's not really worth it.
Yeah,
Ronnie Jenkins.
I mean, yeah, people say any press is good press, but I mean, you tied to that, people are always going to make their assumptions about, well, that's an extension of his real personality, and it wasn't.
Yeah, not when it's putting your relationship with your daughter at risk.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother, it's a whole other thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I killed it and didn't want any more part of it.
Well,
that's fair. Maybe we can find him and have him on the show some night, and nobody will share the footage anywhere. But
they'll find a way to do it.
Who knows?
We're gonna try. Well, they can kiss my ass. They can send it to me.
Yeah.
What was the most embarrassing thing to ever happen to you in the ring? Have you ever had like anything crazy embarrassing? Any gear malfunction.
Embarrassing?
Yes, gear malfunction. That's what I want to. Have you ever had?
No, I've never had one of those. I've actually, some of my matches have been embarrassments. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I really hadn't had anything. There was one show I did where during my entrance, I'm going around, and this show actually drew 8 people, and 6 of them didn't have to pay. And so during my entrance, I went around the ring smacking their hands, and then I had to go to the bathroom to go pee. So I ran back through. The music's still playing. Went back to the bathroom, peed, come back out, and I didn't wash my hands. And I shook their hands again. Yeah.
And COVID.
Yeah. It's before COVID, man. It's years ago.
Okay. Well, that's how it's.
It's back when you could do that and didn't nobody get hurt, man. I mean,
you can work the handshake, brother.
Work the hand. I love it. COVID's awesome. Someone talked to me about how COVID affected me. I don't have to shake people's hands. Like, I don't have to be close.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
I mean, I still shake hands, unfortunately, because that's how I was brought up. But I don't do the thing. And I give fist bumps too. So
yeah, that was very specific. So before we wrap up here, what is your memories of your Crystal Burger eating contest against Freight Train at the Softcore Cup 2?
It was hot. In actuality, Train didn't realize that who it was, that I was 2 different people. And he's like, I'm going to beat old Ronnie in a Crystal Burger eating contest. And it came down to it. So I've done eating competitions. Yeah. I sucked at them.
But brag.
Yeah, come on. But I did them, and I was actually legit beating him when it came to do the old Bill Cosby spot. And when it came to do Bill Cosby spot, Gene had to call the spot over the live microphone to Freight Train. So he would
okay. So Xanders and everybody watching who may have not seen the Softcore Cup. I mean, surely everybody did, but so Kevin came up with this idea. It was going to be a crystal eating contest during the middle of July in an armory with no air conditioner between Ronnie Jenkins and Freight Train. and Gene Jackson, the announcer, is going to host this in the ring. And so the deal was, Ronnie is going to offer Freight Train a drink because he's eating all these burgers and it's hot, and it's going to be roofied. And so gradually, Freight Train is, because Freight Train don't really bump, is going to work his way down to the mat. Well, he's chugging this shit because it's hot, and he's not really moving. And so me forgetting that I'm holding the live house mic in my hand is like, go down. With my teeth gritted. I'm talking to the fucking microphone, but I'm gritting my teeth. Go down, Freight Train. Go down. You can hear it on the DVD. Let me tell him, go down, go down, go. It's fucking terrible. But he won.
That was great.
He won the Crystal Elite. So
and then
now
I had to wrestle 2 more times that night.
Say Roddy has to go back out.
Crystals in my stomach.
Wrestles 2 more.
And then we had
big,
it was me
matches.
and Drew and Cliff Compton in that horrible glitter bomb match.
They still haven't gotten the glitter out of that armory, I'm sure, to this day.
No,
and then,
God, no. And I hate Nathan Hamilton for that.
Nathan, you bastard.
I hate you.
And then you had your finals with Joey Ryan, where he did the spot where he stuck the sucker down his pants and then put it in your mouth. And
yeah.
So you could probably get on some of these lawsuits, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was about to say, dude. Oh yeah. Now that you're retired, you have nothing else to lose. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to get my $38 I was owed for that spot.
Probably one of those suckers.
Yeah, that's probably all I get.
So, having retired last night, I mean, even though you blew the spot at the beginning of the show and left the cat out of the bag, this would have been a perfect tear. Like me and Xanders could have squeezed out a couple of tears and shit. And we could have made it real a moment. But what would you like to say to all your fans right now, having just retired last night at a 10-man tag match in Rocket City that you may or may not have won?
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for the support and love throughout almost the 20 years I've been doing this. Some good, some bad, but to all the boys in the back, like you two that stuck with me for so long, I really appreciate you guys. And, here's the next chapter of my life, which I'm very excited for. And I got this wonderful lady in my life that hopefully will end up, getting married again. Not again, but getting married next year. And I'm just looking forward to this next chapter. And like I said, I'm super excited about it. And thank y'all.
Of course. No, I've always enjoyed working with you, Jeremy. It's unfortunate. Me and Scott got to work with you once, maybe 2 times. I got to work with you once for sure. And I think Scott's got to work with you a couple more times.
Right.
You've always been unbelievably nice to us. You've always been helpful. You've always been fun to be around. I hope you don't take this this retirement, whatever we want to call it, because I hate I've retired 6 times. I hate that term. But I hope you take this as something where you can come back in and
He bunned me.
I lost all down there. I'm back now.
Heads up.
Okay. You'll have to repeat that because you got bunned.
Well, okay. Well, thanks for. I'm gonna make this a lot shorter. Thanks for being such a great dude. Never has anybody had an issue with you, and if they did, it was ridiculous. It was unnecessary. And thanks. I guess this is my heartfelt thank you. But come to the shows, man. Don't give up on coming to the shows. Just don't be in the ring.
Well, I appreciate it, Charles. I really, really do. And you're one of the ones I actually, enjoyed spending this time with, just because, we have just about the same warped sense of humor.
Yeah.
But like I said, I may slide in for a show or 2, but as of right now, I'm just concentrating on life right now.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about it. And there's life after wrestling, and I'm very excited and anxious to see what it holds for me.
Well, my mic or my speakers dropped out there for me, so I don't know what all was said, but I do want to say if I haven't had a chance to say it to you off the air, congratulations for finding a wonderful woman, because I personally know what that does for you in life, and it makes a huge difference, and all this other shit doesn't really mean so much when you've got that at home. So kudos for that, and congratulations. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, kind of like what Charles said, you know, I know a lot of people in wrestling, that there's only a handful that I consider good friends, and you know, people that once I'm long gone from this shit, I hope I still manage to stay in contact with and get to see and talk to. And you were certainly one of those people, man. We've had a lot of laughs over the year and a lot of fun, and so I hope, whether you're in wrestling or not, you know, I hope to stay in contact and get together. And
well, hopefully so, man. You've got my number. Charles don't. Thank God.
Take a hint.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for it.
Got the Iggy. Yeah. Asking or not, you don't have it. I'm just kidding. But seriously though, I mean, I really appreciate it, guys, and I really appreciate what you both have done. Like, you know, just being just friends inside and outside wrestling, you know, that's cool to me. So, you know, like I said, much respect to you guys. I'm keeping this podcast too on a whopping 4 episodes. You got, and
we're hoping for 5,
Charles
man.
A good job carrying on the legacy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Xander's is going to be the booker.
But remember what we talked about last night. The joke gimmick.
I don't remember. I don't remember that.
You too. So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, like I said, thank you guys. I mean, I really appreciate it. I honestly do, from the bottom of my heart.
Well, we're glad to have you, and you are welcome anytime you want to come on and just cut up, tell some stories, have some fun. You let us know, and we'll have you on at a moment's notice. And like I said, we're going to do that whole we're either going to roast somebody or we're going to have a player haters ball. Yes. We're going to do something. We're going to put that humor of yours to good use.
Just let me know something, man. I'll figure out a date and what we can do.
10-4. Well, all right, man. We're going to let you go. You take it easy, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, you guys too. See you, Charles. Thank you, Gene.
Thank you.
Bye.
Look at us getting all sappy at the end right there. Man.
I showed some opinions there, like heartfelt, like emotions.
Scott Morgan, too little, too late, says thank you, Jeremy Flynt. Jeremy's already gone, Scott. He didn't hear it. So
little. That's the biggest thing.
Way to drop the ball. Actually, that was on me. I didn't see if there was a comment up there, but he knows you love him, Scott. He knows how you feel. Just by the way he saw you in those pants last night, he knows that. I didn't see him, but I've heard way too much about your pants last night.
I didn't take a picture of it, but
big wrench right here.
Is that Smokey hitting the? Yeah, because I know Smokey attacked the cords and kicked you off that. So
yeah, he knocked me off the show. Now he's jacking around with the damn production stuff because he thinks he's funny. So
I saw the mute and I was instantly like, "You're yelling at Smokey."
I know. It's like, God damn it, Smokey! Really? Like Flynt's trying to tell us, this is the one serious moment of the show. Now you take me out of it. There he goes again. Damn it, Smokey.
I've never met this cat, but I don't like him already.
Well, so that was episode 4.
Awesome.
So next week, episode 5, Mr. Brad Cash is going to be here, so that should be fun.
And we've got a lot of Gene, you mentioned a little bit. I am doing a lot more of the booking for this, and we've got Brad, and I've got I've had people hit me up, and I've hit up some people that I think we're going to be pretty interesting to talk to, because we just covered an hour and 15 minutes like it was nothing, and it could have kept going.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some guys that I'm hoping are going to be able to continue to do that. So
absolutely. So with Charles Anderson booking, it's going to be, we're going to have some fun, interesting guests, and he's going to be Southern champion for a long fucking time. So
that's true. I'm always. But okay, so if for real though, if anybody's got any good ideas for who you'd like to see on the podcast or the Facebook Live or Cheap Heat TV, please message me privately, message the show, message Gene privately. We want to hear what y'all have to say. We did well with the season. Yeah, those pants. We're gonna find pictures of Scott in those pants, and I'm gonna make sure and get them on the show. Don't worry. But send us ideas, send us complaints. We like hearing negative stuff as we like to hear positive stuff. We had how did you check to see how we did last week?
What do you mean?
Like numbers wise on at least the Facebook Live video
portion. On the Facebook Live, we had almost doubled what the other shows had done previously.
Good.
It pains me to say that because now suddenly you get involved and we double our viewers. So now that makes it sound like that you're the man there.
Is he coming on? Why is the funker back on?
He's been making faces in there the whole time, so I figured I'd put him on. I don't think he knows that we can't hear him at this point, but I keep seeing the faces on my screen, so I figured I'd let the folks see it too. So yes, like Charles said, hit him up, hit me up, Facebook Messenger or GeneJackson95@gmail.com if you have suggestions for the show, for guests, for features you think would be fun. Because like I said, we're going to try to make this where it's not just interviews. Yeah. We're going to try to have some fun things, some questions and answers with Steve Pleasing says he knew he didn't retire. But all right, so we don't want to ramble on for too long here at the end. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we take it home?
No, there's, I'm actually pretty happy with everything that's going on. I appreciate once again the opportunity to continue doing this, and I hope the numbers are just going to keep growing. I appreciate the fans, the guys who are in here commenting. People are listening to it and commenting on it in Spotify, and so keep that up, guys. They enjoy the fan interaction as much as they enjoy us rambling on for an hour. So go ahead, Gene. Let's close it out. Close it out strong, Gene.
Everybody have a great week. Have a very happy Thanksgiving this coming Thursday. And we will see you here live next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for another episode of Cheap Heat TV Live with the one and only Brad Cash.
Shitty way to end.
Thanks, Wicked. Damn it.